Boys, today the plan is simple. We are going to combine indie games and gaming events. Then we're gonna get these two and we're gonna make our own live stream presenting indie games. And we're gonna call it We Made Our Own E3 Secret Sauce Showcase. And we're gonna do all this without telling anyone. Of course, we're not going to do it alone. We're going to do it with offbrand. They already published Rivals of Aether, but now they are doing something else. Ludwig and his team did an event showing indie games. And this kind of event usually makes me very happy to see, because it's really nice to create expectations when you see trailer after trailer, one after the other one. And I really miss good game events. The ones you saw that were made for games, artistically speaking, and not just monetizing speaking. So a gaming event that only shows indie games has everything for being extremely good and very unique. And this one gave that classic taste that old gaming events usually had, and that was exactly what I needed. I was thinking about if I did this video or not, because it's such a specific thing that it gives you that feeling that you are the only one that care about. But then out of nowhere, this guy started talking a different language and he was showing a game called Lacerator. This guy was a genius. He made his trailer specifically for this day, and he was mocking the Nintendo gaming events, the ones that the guy is talking Japanese in the background and there's a voice speaking English on top of him with a white background and the guy is using a suit. This guy was really smart. And then when I saw it, I felt obligated to do this video. This guy game is a survival horror with PS1 graphic style, but what makes it different is that it is focused on movementation, since the protagonist loses members during the gameplay. It even has a demo already, and I played it, and the game is good. It's a good game. But in the real event we had card games, like the Royal Writ, that has a very beautiful art. And card games are like my weakness. I always get addicted in games like this. This one is like a fusion of Balatro and Slay the Spire, and this art style reminds me a lot of Adventure Time. 4 out of 5 stars. It's how hyped I am for this one. Or Demon Bluff, which is a roguelike that mixes cards with deduction, poker style. You need to try to find out who is the villain that is in the table playing against you. My card is better than your card. Oh, it's a cute card game. Look how pretty the art style is. You could give this one as a gift for your girlfriend. In this one you build your own deck using these stickers. It looks cute, doesn't it? This one is also a card game, but it has this little taste of dating games with visual novels, which is not really my thing, but if you like it, then I'm not here to judge. Or then pretty games, where the visuals get your attention, even for games that normally you wouldn't play, like Voyagers of Nera. This one is a case of the ones that I wouldn't play, because it's a survival multiplayer, and I am horrible at this type of games. But the atmosphere of this one feels so different, surrounded by water and full of life. Or Bonnie Bear Saves, which is a comedy, so it's a game for you to not take seriously. It's like that Goose game, it's made for you to laugh, it's all full of jokes. And for you to be pretty, you can be different. You may even not have colors, you could be all black and white, and just with some details in color and some things here and there. Or you can have amazing colors that looks like they're jumping out of screen, with a very polished 3D art style in a very calm gameplay. You can be a modern thing like gang stalk, where you watch yourself from the point of view of the ones that are stalking you, something that is very similar with our reality in this world that you're being seen every single time. With a gameplay that tries to subvert your expectations and your gaming knowledge. Or the complete opposite, with a retro game made all in pixel art that looks like it came directly from the 90s, in a universe that these kind of shooters never stopped being made and they just evolved with time. Or where that Chrono Trigger style never stopped being replicated, and RPGs now focus on movement and fast-paced gameplay. Pixel art on this world kept being alive, and it is being fused with 3D environment. Or where spaceship games continue to be made and Star Fox isn't forgotten, where you can fly around the space and shoot everything that you see in front of you, with a soundtrack that is made to pump adrenaline on your blood cells. Or maybe a Mega Man game that accompanies you on your day-to-day life and is always there on your computer screen. Or maybe just a bullet hell that the song remind me of the opening of the Scooby-Doo movie, the live action one, you know? See if it isn't the same. There is also puzzle slash simulator that I like to call I am too dumb for this, like Band of Crusaders. This one has a medieval style, kind of dark fantasy, but it is a strategy game, and I'm horrible at this kind of games. I guess if it doesn't have cards, my brain just don't get it, because I'm too dumb for this. But if you are intelligent, you can do a lot of stuff. You can mine, you can create your own songs, you can be an artist in a medieval time, you can create little planets. Look how cute they are. Aren't they cute? They're really cute. Or an amusement park in Mars. Is this how Elon Musk's brain works? Maybe he's the target audience. You can create your own city in a giant ship, or you can even play with some kind of Lego, but very advanced, full of freedom and almost endless possibilities. Or you can even go further and play real puzzle games. These ones are for really intelligent people, like Stretch Mancer, that mix 3D visuals with 2D art style. This one has wonderful colors, they are very alive, and the gameplay reminds me a lot of Superliminal, where you have to abuse the game mechanics the more that you can. I imagine that this is where the name came from, Stretch Mancer. Since you stretch the mechanics, you're like a stretch wizard, or Art of Reflection. Also reminds me a lot of Superliminal, but this time without the cartoon art style. Oh, and this one have a mechanic that is photo based, like the one other game where you take pictures and change the world around you. But it has a very realistic art style, very different from the other one. If you think about it, these games are kind of a duo. They are very similar. And there's other duos actually, as in The Lost Twins 2, which has the same vibe as It Takes Two and Split Fiction, where the fun of the game is in you playing with someone and share this team effort moment, or Bite Bond, where you and your duo are these little balls and they look like BB-8 from Star Wars. Oh, but these ones, they look like they have more complex puzzles, so be careful to not fight with your duo and lose your friendship because of a game. Or maybe the I don't know where to put them, like Rivals of Aether 2. This one is Ludwig's game, from the company that is making the event. It is a Smash Bros, I think, with his own characters. The only thing I noticed about this trailer is that it has this guy that I think is from Katana Zero. Or Whisper Mountain Outbreak. I really like this game visuals, the characters, the lighting, everything actually. When I saw the scenes I was really hyped about it. I thought it was going to be like a survival horror in a pixel art style, but it turns out it's not quite like that. It is a cooperative escape room with zombies. It is like Left 4 Dead but for you to think. Or then duos that remind you of other games, such as Pokemon Likes, Aether Mancer, which is a Pokemon roguelite, where you make your monster team and if you die you start again, which is very pretty, but I'm kinda scared of it being kind of repetitive. Or like Montabe, which have a very cute art style instead of the usual pixel art, and this one have a more tactical playstyle, like that one South Park game where positioning matters. This made me want to play more than the other one. Is it the reverse of Pokemon like Doom-likes? Because Morals Protocol is a classic Doom-like, but with neon added. In fact, it is very funny how the visuals of indie games tend to call my attention way more than modern AAA games. It feels like just running away from the normality of things makes things feel more interesting. His duel, which is painted in blood, is way more darker, but even then the visuals overcome completely. Isn't this way more unique than usual games that releases? Unfortunately, this kind of games give me a lot of motion sickness because of the camera, so both of them I am just going to want to play. When you're talking about personal taste, for me there is two types of games. There is this one I want to play, like Shadows of Chroma Tower, which is a cooperative dungeon crawler. You and your friends doing raids, fighting against monsters, climbing up and down the dungeon. You choose one of the three factions of the game that fight against each other in some kind of point-based PvP. It has a really cool visual. Look at this green fire. I really want to play this one. Or White Knuckle, that have a very horror style visuals, but it's actually a game about climbing. Look at the song that play on this trailer. Do you see how it fits perfectly? Game trailers are actually an art by itself, such that it made me really want to play this one, even though I'm probably not even going to be able to. So I'm going to have to watch it from very far, some streamer playing it. Demon Tides. Listen to the song that play on this one. Did it remind you of something? Listen to this one then. This one is a 3D platformer and it looks like it is full of personality. But platform games are something that you can only know by feeling it. When you play the game and you see if the gameplay clicks. When it works, the game gets you instantly, and this one have very pretty visuals to go with it. It reminds me a lot of Wind Waker with this shell shading art style. I liked it a lot. Or then, Michael Relic. The first thing that I thought when I saw the trailer of this game was, this one really looks like Bionicles. And that's actually really it. The game developers even joke about it in the extra version of the trailer. This one is gonna be a cooperative action RPG. It reminded me of the days that I spent playing For the King with a friend of mine. I think it reminds me because of the visuals, or for it being an RPG and medieval fantasy. I would easily buy this one for lose an entire afternoon and then not playing anymore for a few months till I remembered it again and think, oh, this one is very fun, let's play it. You know, when you're talking with someone and then you're out of ideas of what to play. Yeah, that's it. Or Giga Sword. The song of the beginning of this trailer instantly reminded me of Undertale, but this one is a platform game where the main mechanic revolves around this sword that you have, where you have to use it and at the same time you have to know when to not use it, so you can get to a different area of the scenario. It feels like a fusion of School Knight with Rogue Legacy and Castlevania. Yes, but even above the games that I want to play, there is the "That's what I'm talking about." God damn it.
That's what I'm talking about! That's why he's the GOAT! The GOAT!
Arsonate. This game is a mix of Inscription with Buckshot Roulette. You can see the inspiration leaking out of the song and the visuals of the game. This one I am 100% sure that is going to have good videos on YouTube very soon. Or Angeline Era. Do you know this trend of games with PS1 style graphics? Well, almost all of them are horror games. But this generation of 32-bit games deserves to be revived outside of horror genre, and this one is a very good example of that. Do you see how he used graphics of this time? And look how beautiful it is. Not everything has to be bloody and scary to work. You can also be happy, you know? You don't have to torture your brain all the time. Desktop Explorator. This one smells like YouTube videos. The visuals with this CRT effect. This cute mascot with old school graphics, full of folders and mysteries and secrets, with visuals that mixes something scary and at the same time very inviting. Everything unified with this eerie song. This one is very good. Unfortunately, it only releases next year. Sledding Game. This game gives me a sensation that it has all the good things from games like VRChat, Roblox, Habbo, but without the toxicity, you know? It has that very real and honest interaction with other human beings. And the visuals of the games is something that goes directly with things that I like. The characters are like very fluffy. Everything is very squishable. It instantly makes me want to play with this panda. Look how cute he is. 5 out of 5 on this one. It's just simple as that. This one is the one for you to play with your friends and lose time. Very good. Dark Web Streamer. You can put this on the list. It is going to become a video trend. It is one of those, I can assure you. The CRT effect never fails. It is scary, it is bizarre, it is very strange. And this one have a sprinkle of meta language because you are a streamer on this one. It is made for your favorite streamer to play live. This one even has a website that seems like it has some elements of RAG. I don't have the mental capacity to unravel this type of things, so if someone actually do it sometime, then I will tell you how it goes. Verho. There's a style of games that is kind of lost in time, and this is basically it. From Software made a lot of games like this in the old days. Bethesda also did them. Elder Scrolls 1, also known as Arena, it was kinda like this too. And there's something about those games that just hypnotizes me. I know that I'm going to puke with this camera, but look at how interesting this visual is. The atmosphere, the sensation that the game gives you, everything about it. God damn it, man, this one I really have to play. To finish, there's 2 games that exemplify why indie games are important. It can be in a technical way or even story-wise. Technically, exactly like in Adventure Forge. It isn't a game exactly, it is more like a way for you to make games. It is a tool that lets you make games without have to coding. If this is really functional and it has enough personality for the games to not look the same for one another, it can be a very interesting tool. If we already seeing so good things from RPG Maker, which is limited for only RPG games, imagine what a tool more open like this one can open possibilities for people with very good ideas to be able to finally put them in practice. And story speaking, like in We Grew Up in War. This one I like to speak about as the last one because it talks about a different part of indie games. The whole existence of indie games came from the idea that you can create something that a company normally wouldn't do. And this can range from different visual style than a gameplay that is considered too old. Or it can be a story that is not that easy to sell compared to other ones. And this one is a very real one and is very current. It speaks about how it is to grow up in a place like this, and it is based on real stories of something that is happening right now while we talk, and that's real life. And this is why indie games are important, because this is art. It can be entertaining at the same amount as it can be serious, and it has to touch you somehow. It has to make a difference. Indie games let people express themselves, it lets them create, and it lets them to maintain their ideas live forever. And that's why I love indie games. There isn't a way to not to love them. Well, that's it. Thank you, Ludwig. Thank you, Offbrand. Thank you for watching this video, and I see you guys next time.